Hey everyone, this segment's going to be on resources that I think would be useful to you as investors, which could save you time. So the first one I want to tell you about is Value Line. So if you don't know what Value Line is this company that puts together a lot of useful information, and for me, I find the Value Line in the local library. You might be able to have access to it in some other way. But Value Line, as shown by this example of Coca-Cola, is a one-page analysis which shows a bunch of financial information, debt information, business information, last year history, growth information. So it's a one-page analysis that shows all this good information about a company. It's a very useful resource. It also shows you the average annual PE ratio over the last 15 years. So for a very simple valuation metric, you can compare the current PE to the previous PEs of the last decade or so. The guys at Value Line also did this wonderful thing by making a list of conservative stocks. So if I was going to make a recommendation to my parents to buy one stock, or I would never say buy one stock, I would say buy from this list, conservative stocks, okay? Buy 10 stocks minimum. That's one of the defensive investing guidelines. Another useful resource is the Dividend Aristocrat list. So the list is always changing, but what the Dividend Aristocrats are is they're companies that have consecutively increased their dividends for 25 years 25 years in a row, which is not easy to do. So I have a little list here, but I'll have a little link above this video that shows the Dividend Aristocrats, but it's a useful resource. Another useful resource, we need to go online for this, is I want to show you Google Finance. So if you type in Google Finance, KO for Coca-Cola, the really useful thing about Google Finance, in my opinion, well, a couple of useful things. You have access to a lot of news and a lot of information on financials and whatnot, but the way that the guys at Google really excelled compared to some of the other websites is their graphing tools. So over a 10-year period, or even a 20-year period or 5-year period, let's say I wanted to look at Coca-Cola's dividends over a 10-year period. So I can see that 10 years ago their dividends were 18 cents per quarter, and I can see that now they're 47 cents per quarter. So that's considerably more than what they were 10 years ago. So as conservative investors, a lot of times we want to focus on dividends because that's where you're getting paid. And see a trend where you have 3 times dividend growth in 10 years, that's a good thing. Okay, another useful website, another resource for you is MSN Money. Now, where MSN Money is better than Google Finance, in my opinion, is their financial summary. So if you type in KO, which I already did, and you go to Coca-Cola, they have financials and they have 10-year summary. So if I click on 10-year summary, I can look at Coca-Cola and I can see in the last 10 years have sales increased? Yes, they have. In the last 10 years, has net income increased? Yes, it has. Earnings per share increased? Yes. Have shares outstanding decreased, which means they're buying back shares? Yes. Is current assets over current liabilities greater than 1? Yes. Is the long-term debt capable of being paid off through net income within a reasonable amount of time? Yes. So within one page I can see all kinds of useful information. I can also see the income statement. Make sure you click on annual, and I can see the balance sheet and cash flow statement. I guess If you guys really like these videos, I'll probably do one on each, understanding the income statement, understanding the balance sheet, and understanding the cash flow statement. But send me an email and request it so I know that you want that. Okay, another resource is the financial 10K. So every year a company has to file a report with the SEC, this 10K filed to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Basically, it might seem intimidating at first because of so many pages, but it has a lot of valuable information. And if you're going to put money into an investment, this gives you the information that you need to know before you go put that money into it. Another useful resource, which provides less detail than a 10K, is the annual report itself. So the company does the 10K for the SEC, and they do an annual report for their shareholders, because most shareholders don't want to dig through a 100-page 10K. They want, just the summary. So the annual reports have lots of pictures, and they provide a summary of what happened over the previous year. So this is a listing of a lot of the resources that you might find useful and beneficial, but I want to recommend one more resource other than these videos. So the Rooster Finance Educational Quarterly, that's what I have shown here. It is meant to teach conservative investing guidelines. And basically, to summarize within 20 seconds what those guidelines are: number one, you diversify your portfolio with a minimum of 10 companies. So you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Number two, you pick conservatively financed companies that don't have their balance sheets loaded down with debt. Number three, you pick companies with operating histories that have proven themselves over a period of time. So our screen is for 10 years of dividend payments. Number four, you don't overpay for companies because you're excited about them, or because if they're amazing companies. So you set some upper bound as to what you're going to pay, and you stick to those 4 guidelines when you make your defensive investment decisions. Anyway, I would like this to be one of your resources if possible. The next segment is going to be my opinion on why I think stocks or securities should be in an investment portfolio. Okay.